What's going on, guys? Today I'm bringing you probably the most brain rot video I've ever done, and that's seeing how good a 6'7" hockey team is in NHL 26.
6'7".
As you can see right here, I built the team Toronto 6'7". If you guys are wondering why is it based in Toronto, the last time the Leafs won a Stanley Cup was actually 1967, so I figured Toronto was perfect for that. Also, you guys can see there, Arena 6'7" Arena. Top players, they're actually all legends. Decided to put some legends on this team, just make it a bit better. So we got Paul Coffey, Howie Moran, Phil Esposito. If you're wondering, how are they part of a 6'7" team? I'll show you guys in just a moment. And obviously, guys, for this video, I added the Toronto 6'7" as the 33rd team. Had to put them in the Atlantic Division with the Maple Leafs. 92 overall, I think, makes them the highest rated team in the league. So we'll see here if we actually win a Stanley Cup before the Maple Leafs. And now next year, guys, I'll show the roster for this 6'7" team. On the first line, we got Toe Blake, Montreal Canadiens legend, war number 6. In the middle, we have Howie Morenz, another Canadiens legend, war number 7. And then on the right wing, we have Ted Lindsay, Red Wings legend, who wore number 7. So obviously 6'7" from the left. And then for Lindsay, Besser below him, obviously wears number 6. Below him, Brady Tkachuk wears number 7. So Besser's kind of like the 6th for that. Second line, Ace Bailey. He's actually a Leafs legend who had his number 6 retired. In the middle, Phil Esposito, of course, a legendary number 7. And then the third line here, Zach Benson, now wears number 6 this season. And then in the middle, Keith Tkachuk, obviously war number 7. That's why Brady wears it as well. So kind of cool too. We got the father and son there in Brady and Keith Tkachuk. And then the fourth line here is actually all actual 6'7" wearers. So you got Max Pacioretty, who wore 67. Same with Rickard Rakell, who wears that number, and Lawson Crouse. So right there, guys, they look at these 6'7" forwards. Hopefully that made sense. In terms of the defense here, we got Phil Housley, probably the best, number 6 defenseman to ever play the game. On his pair, you have Chris Chelios, who wore number 7. Second pairing here, you got Jacob Chychrun, currently wearing a number 6 with Paul Coffey, who wore number 7 with the Oilers, also wore 77. And on the bottom D pair here, we actually just have two 6'7" defensemen in both Victor Hedman and Jamie Alexiak. So, went about it a couple different ways. We could put Paul Coffey too on the top pair. He's one higher than Chelios, but chemistry's worse. Also, Coffey, insane offensive stats, and then defensively is actually not that great. So probably makes more sense him just to be the ultimate power play specialist. Speaking of, as you guys can see, power play 1, absolutely ridiculous there. They get the +5. Power play 2, no boost. Obviously, for the power play, the PK, it's kind of tough to have, the 6'7" thing work. So I just actually made it, our best offensive players on the power play and then the best defensive players there on the PK. And of course, too, guys, almost forgot, in terms of the goaltending, just like the bottom D pair, we got two 6'7" goalies in Ben Bishop and Mads Søgaard. Obviously, had to bring Ben Bishop back out of retirement. If we didn't, our two goalies would have been Søgaard as well as Fedotov. He's the third string there, playing down the AHL. Also had some extra defensemen down there. So Devin Tays, currently in the AHL, same with Faber, Hamilton, all wear number 7. Tim Horton here as well, wore 7. Then on offense, you got Rod Gilbert there as well as Jordan Eberle, both wore number 7. So if you guys ever make this team, you do have some other options. Clearly a lot more, 7s to pick from than 6s, but very excited, like I said, to see what this team can do. Again, it's kind of a joke team, but they actually do look pretty good. In regards to the captaincy, guys, I actually have Max Pacioretty wearing the C, as this one site said he's the best number 67 to ever play in the NHL, so I figured that was fitting. Morenz there and Housley both wearing A's. Morenz arguably the greatest number 7 of all time. Housley arguably the greatest number 6. And now before we get started with the sim, guys, I'll first show you the ratings. Also, too, you can see the jerseys. So if you guys don't know about the CHL, the Ottawa 67s in the OHL have gotten a lot of hype recently, due to their name. This is based on their jerseys with, the colored stripes there. So if I just look at the away, kind of looks almost like cotton candy. I don't know. I was going for bright colors, something very Gen Z, Gen Alpha-esque. The home there, obviously, we're rocking the teal. Plus, we got the metallic helmet and gloves, and then the alternate there is the pink, which I just realized I forgot to throw the logo on, but that's okay. The pink will just be no logo. The logo doesn't really make sense. I couldn't figure out a 6'7" logo. Also, in regards to the ratings, we've got 95 offense, 93 defense, 84 goaltending. Also, too, guys, I wanted to show you the mascot for this team. Honestly, I made just this gremlin thing. I feel like when I see some kids, saying 6'7", this is honestly almost what I picture.
6'7". No, don't like that.
That's what the mascot's looking like. And as always, too, guys, before you do start simming here, let me know in the comment section below how many wins you think this team's going to get. All right, guys, so I just finished simming through the entire season. As you can see here, the team finished with a 48-26-8 record. Would have been really cool if they finished with, say, 67 wins, but that'd been pretty tough to pull off, even with this stacked team. Second place in the Atlantic Division. The Lightning actually beat them out, which kind of surprising. Next, we'll take a look and see how this team did. Howie Morenz led in scoring in 64. So we were a very defensive team, I guess, with all these legends. Ted Lindsay, 62. Paul Coffey, 60 as a defenseman, is actually really nice. Same with Housley there, 59. So those two contributed quite a bit. Esposito, 55. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Scoring just seems to be down. Hedman, 43, honestly. Third pair and top power play or maybe second power play is actually pretty good. So yeah, our defense was definitely helping us out. No player on the team had a minus, or actually Keith Kachuk -1. Never mind, I don't know how I missed that. Goaltending, Ben Bishop comes in, gives a 9.23. So, you know, having a 6.7 goalie clearly is a big help. So that is awesome. Again, yeah, not the highest scoring team. Hopefully, though, you know, they can pull it together in the playoffs. All you got to do is win by 1. Entire league, Reinhardt 105 with Barkov, of course, is healthy. Only 4 guys there with 100-plus points. Matthew Tkachuk playing unreal this season. He's pissed he's on our team with his brother and his dad. Pastrnak there, 55 goals. Defensive scoring, Noah Dobson with the Canadiens, 78. And then goalie stats here, Ben Bishop had the most wins. Might have had the highest save percentage too. No, Jake Onger, 927. Wow. There was actually some really good save percentages this year, so maybe that's why goals were down. And then goals against here, Ben Bishop did have the highest for a starter. So chance we have the Vezina Trophy winner in a Ben Bishop returning to the league. Demidov crushed rookie scoring, 47. And I'm looking at this here, guys. So we actually had the lowest goals against in the league by 8. And then in terms of goals for, obviously we're not at the top. We also weren't at the bottom. So again, that just kind of shows how much depth this team had when no one really was even close to a point per game. And still, we were middle of the pack in terms of scoring, just, you know, getting production there from every single line. So in the first round, we got the Florida Panthers looking to three-peat, the back-to-back champs. Okay, they're not making it easy for us here in round 1. I'm probably just going to sim like all these games game by game just to make it not take too long. So it looks like we lost the first one there by 1. Of course, we'd be playing in Toronto. I'm not sure if we're at, you know, Scotiabank Arena or what, but we actually head to Florida there and get our first wins. So we're down 2-1. Game 4, unfortunately, lose. So this 6-7 team has to win out here. 3 straight. Oh, wow. And they lose in 5, 6-4. Would have been really fitting if the final score there was like 6-7. But what are you going to do? So, yeah, this team, honestly, I expected a lot better for them. I think the regular season went about as I expected. But then playoff time, out in 1. I know we lost to, like, the back-to-back champs. But still, I thought this team, like, we literally have, you know, half a team of Hall of Famers there. And somehow can't beat the current Florida Panthers. And now the playoffs are complete here, guys. The Stanley Cup champions were actually the other Florida team, the Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Calder Cup champions were our AHL team, AIK. Honestly, after we got eliminated, I kind of didn't even like bother to look at the AHL team. Does make sense though that they won when their top 4 is literally an NHL/Legends top 4, and they got a couple, you know, good NHLers on their top forward line. And next, you guys, of course, want to take a look at that playoff tree. So the Lightning there beat the Canadiens in 7, Panthers in 7, Hurricanes in 6, and then the Vegas Golden Knights there in 6. So, you know, Tampa Bay could definitely go on a run this year. Take a look at our team playoff stats. Moren's popping off. He had 9 points. This guy, too, I should mention, like over 100 if he was still alive today. Same with a couple other guys on this team. Ted Lindsay, Brady Tkachuk, all over point per game. Chris Chelios was right on it. This team probably should have beat Florida. Ben Bishop did not play great. 8.33. His poise is a 90. I don't really know why he played so poorly for us there. In terms of the awards, obviously, know the team individually there. Sam Reinhart with the Art Ross and the Heart. Quinn Hughes, James Norris, surprised McCarr didn't win it. Pastrnak, Lady Bing, Leonard Calder over Demidov. I know Demidov had kind of a bad plus-minus. That's crazy. Gensel, Conn Smythe. Bishop got the Vezina as we thought he might. So we got 1 award. Also, William Jennings there. Broberg, Bill Masterton, Martin St. Louis, Jack Adams, Couturier, Selke, Barkov, Ted Lin, and then Pastrnak there, Maurice Richard. I am curious. So AHL team won the Calder Cup. They didn't win the league, though. And let's see if they win any awards. Gilbert, most points. You'd expect that. Also got MVP. Most goals, Moore, best rookie, Dougie Hamilton, best D-man. We didn't have the best goalie, though. That was actually Husso there on the Gulls. Faber, MVP of the playoffs. Eberle, sportsmanship. And then Kakin, lowest goals against. Okay, so Fedotov, unfortunately, you know, didn't really pull his weight for the AHL team. But Jordan Eberle there, 95 points. He definitely did his part. And I wanted to check here, guys, as Gilbert actually is the one who won, like, most points MVP. He had 106 points in the AHL. Oh my goodness. Playoffs 27-23. So yeah, him and Eberle just carrying the offense there. So even though the 6-7 team couldn't win a Stanley Cup, the 6-7 extras did win a Calder Cup. So I guess we'll take that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, leave that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.